Hello everyone, Seraphin here, welcome back for more Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. When I last left you guys, we took out a boss and encountered a aptly named friend who was going to sell us a bunch of stuff. A lot of dangerous stuff, I should add. And isn't that just the best kind of stuff, really? Dangerous stuff? Let's be honest. Let's encounter our old nemesis, the Minotaur, who I can now hit from a distance. A considerable distance with this whip sword. Same thing with Mr. Catoblepus here. Catoblepus? Catoblepus? I don't know how to pronounce that, really. I've always said Catoblepus, or Catoblepus, I should say. Feel free to correct me if I am wrong. I will be pronouncing a lot of things, and probably not the way that you pronounce them. I apologize for that. I am generally pretty wary about trying to make sure I do things correctly. I have a lot of respect for language, not just in the writing of it, but the speaking of it and the proper use of it. There is a fun-looking book there that I can't get to because I can't crawl through this hole, strangely enough, but we'll come back to that another time. Meantime, I'm going to whip this student witch in the face. Fun fact, when she dies and turns into a cat, that cat does not hurt me when it runs through me, which is nice, because they're a little annoying and hard to dodge. In case you all were wondering that. So I know this is episode 5 and we're already 3 bosses down, and it seems like a lot of progress, but it's, it's pretty standard, I guess. The bosses will be getting considerably more difficult from here on out. Well, I guess there's one more, regular powered boss before the really tough one. Oh, that was dumb. I just wasted all my progress killing these things. That's alright, I guess. Catoblepus here is a meat shield, if nothing else. And my whip sword is not quite up to the task of killing him quickly. But it does have great range, that's the important thing. So yeah, one more, regular monster boss. In that there is one more that will show up later as a regular enemy. After that, however, all the bosses will be bosses that you only encounter once. So starting with the 6th boss, that will be the case. I'm sorry, 5th boss, not because the next one's the 4th one. For some reason, I keep thinking the Great Armor is the 4th boss, but he's not. Take out Arachne here. And I forget where it said we were at. We're in the study still, right? Yeah. Okay, so now that I can double jump, I can use that crate that's up here to access that area I couldn't get to before. But I'm gonna push it this way first, because that will let me get up here. Now that double jumping is so much nicer. And we get a heart pendant. I believe this is a straight upgrade to the regular pendant we have. Yep, so +1 luck and +1 defense. I'll be equipping that. Did I get any better armor or anything? Nope, not really. This whip sword is arguably the best weapon I get for quite some time, I believe. Don't quote me on that, because I always forget things. You tend to get very regular upgrades to your gear throughout the progress of this game. It's not stifling and takes forever to get, kind of like, a little bit like Metroid Fusion in that. How long was I stuck with the wide beam for before I got the plasma beam? It was quite a while. That being said, I just got picked up a broadsword, so this is a different kind of weapon. Broadsword. You'll see this has a bit more power behind it. However, it doesn't swing straight out, it swings in an arc in front of me. So it's great for taking down things that aren't straight ahead of me, but you'll see it also is quite a bit slow, even about as slow as the whip sword, maybe even a little slower than that. And I tend to prefer the straight-out-ahead weapons as opposed to the arcing ones, so I'm going to keep the whip sword on for the time being, even though it's a little bit weaker. Also, this range is just incredible. I think that's the longest range you get on a weapon in the game, pretty sure. Maybe one exception to that. That's okay. But I can take out these bone pillars without fear of reprisal, which is the nice thing. I will take a long-distance weapon over a close-up beat stick most days. I am the kind of guy who likes to play the sniper in shooting games, so I definitely like reaching out and touching someone without having to get in the way. What is that? A Basilard. That is that knife that I wanted the zombies to drop early on that I told you was really good. I think, however, it's been eclipsed by this weapon at this point. I lied. It's actually a little bit stronger still. So the Basilard's really good. However, it's got pathetic range. But if we'd gotten that first thing from one of the zombies, that would have made the first couple of bosses completely trivial. And the first few areas, I should say, including this one. And if we'd gotten the weapon that I really wanted off those zombie soldiers, they have something even better. It's in the same vein. They drop a combat knife. And that combat knife is even stronger than that Basilard. It's a little bit more range, but holy smokes, does that thing ever hurt. And it makes absolute mincemeat out of the first few areas of the game. Speaking of, there it is! We got the combat knife. I forgot the zombie enforcers, or zombie officers drop it too. So why don't I show you that real quick, so I'm going to take out these little tiny devil things. They're so much harder to hit, though. So I think I can reach this area now that I can double jump, and the flying armor. Yep, look at that. More zombie officers. In fact, I'm going to equip that combat knife. Look at that, 42. It jumps me up even more. Imagine if I'd gotten that right away. This thing is incredible for a very long stretch. Kills that officer rather quickly, and and look how fast it is too on the draw. Not a lot of range, but when you kill things in 3 hits, do you really need a lot of range? So I know I said just not even 30 seconds ago that I'm a big fan of reaching out and touching someone with a sniper rifle, but if you give me a really fun up-close and personal weapon like a shotgun or something to that effect, that is just as fun in my opinion. And sometimes can be even more so. I don't know if I've mentioned this, however, I am a big fan of the Halo series. I know, right? I'm like totally a typical white dude, but at any rate, I'm a big fan of Halo. I have been as long as I've been playing it, which is about 2003, so a couple years after it came out. Oh, I just got a hammer from that rock armor. The hammer is very strong, however, it's also very, very slow. No doubt, because it's a freaking hammer. Won't be using that. We're going to stick with that combat knife, because as I said, this thing is just incredible for a while. We can probably kill this white dragon in like 2 hits. If he holds still. That's the only downside of this thing. Okay, not 2 hits, but 3 hits. Not bad, not bad at all. And up here you'll see we have ghost dancers. I actually really, really want the soul for these guys because it's very useful for quite some time. It's a passive soul too, which is nice, and I don't have to spend magic to use it. The ghost dancer soul, I'm just gonna tell you because I'm gonna stop here and farm this until I get it. It's got a pretty decent drop rate though. The ghost dancer soul is a flat +4 to my luck, which is great. That will greatly accelerate my ability to grab souls and even maybe some other items in the process. And they tend to come in bunches. You'll see there was like maybe 5 or 6 there. So farming them doesn't take that much effort. What's in here? Here's that stupid plant that I couldn't kill before. It's called an une. There's an anti-venom in here in case I get poisoned. So I'm actually going to equip that whip sword and just take these guys out. Not the hammer, whip sword, thank you. Because they die in 1 hit, which is nice, and then because there's so many of them, I've got a bit of an increased chance of getting it to drop off of several batches in here. Oh, we dropped a heart, interestingly enough. So yeah, I do want this Ghost Dancer soul, so I apologize for interrupting your regularly scheduled programming to farm a soul real quick, but it's such a good one, I need it right now. Ow! I need to find a better spot to sit and hit these guys, I think. Or just have a different weapon, maybe. Keep forgetting I can double jump now. You'll see they kind of phase in and out right there. I don't really know what the purpose of that is. You can still hit them when they're like in phased out form. That being said, I can jump up here too. I forgot about this. Get way up here and get this $100 bill in the form of a coin. What's in here? Oh, here we go. So this is a teleportation room. And it shows up yellow on the map. Save rooms are red. And then these teleport rooms are yellow. and I can swap between any of them at any time. I think this is a recent Castlevania staple in that most of the Castlevania games that I've played have this now. So I can teleport right straight back to the entrance of the castle from here. Well, not right at the castle, or the entrance, but right near it. So this is that first room with all the zombies in it. I'm right above it. And then if I just go out here to the left, that will take me to the castle entrance. And that is where Hammer has set up his shop. You'll see there he is, and he's got a little pile of swords there. Mina is still here too. She's awake now. And talking to Mina will actually restore your health the same way that a save room does. And she actually has some story conversation if you come back here and talk to her. She's like, doesn't Hammer look scary? No, he's alright. He has a lot of guns, but it's okay. He's opening a shop? He's weird. What if you didn't believe me? What if he was like an actual, like a serial murderer or something? She's had some bad headaches. That's pretty generic. Depending on what certain parts of the story you're in, she'll say different things. Yes, this is where he's opened his shop, and it has awesome music. Is she your friend? I had no idea you were so popular with the ladies. With hair like that, no, he's not. Someone looks really emo. I'm not sure if that's... I'm the only one that thinks that, but... He just looks a little emo. At any rate, Hammer does sell castle maps. You'll see we already have the first floor, I guess, quote-unquote, of the castle, so we can buy the second one for a measly 100 gold. Let's do that. He sells potions and mind-ups. He sells anti-venoms, uncursed potions. Here's that Basilar that we got, and actually he sells that combat knife, so if I hadn't gotten one, I could have gotten one here. Go figure he has knives, because he's a army guy. Here's that rapier we already have. We have a hammer, we have a broadsword. We don't have a spear. Not much better than whip sword, and actually it's a thrusting weapon. So rather than swinging in an arc like a broadsword or swiping out straight in front like a typical sword, he actually will swing this in an upward arc from the bottom and out straight. So like just lunging with it a little bit basically. It's got decent range, but we have whip sword, so this is only 1 point stronger than that, so we won't be using that. It's also a lot slower. This is a Gladius, a Roman sword. Why, yes it is. That's a pretty decent weapon to have right now. Scimitar. It's alright. Katana. Oh, I love katanas. I can afford it, too. 49 attack. Wow, that's pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. Might need to buy me a katana. Leather plate. We are currently wearing that. He has war fatigues. These are nice. There's not a lot of armor that gives you attack bonus in addition to defense. This one does. This will bring us up to 26 defense and give us a 3-point attack boost to boot, which is very nice. So I might pick that up. We'll see. I don't have a lot of cash right now, but I might be spending some soon. Copper plate's a +8 defense. That's nice. That's all he's got. These war fatigues are pretty solid. That being said, I do think I'm going to grab a katana, because that's even stronger than that combat knife, and that swings in an arc, so it hits a lot of stuff. And katanas are fast, because it's a katana, right? Let's see if I can sell him anything, actually. Do I have stuff that I don't need? I don't need 3 uncursed potions. I just need 1, really. I can sell him my base knife. I can sell him this Basilar that I don't need. Don't need the short sword. I'll keep the bastard sword just in case. I don't need the broadsword if I'm buying a katana, so we can get rid of that for a decent chunk of change. Certainly don't need this bamboo sword. However, as you'll see, it's largely worthless. 25 gold. We don't need this hammer. We don't need this rapier. We had 2 rapiers? Wow. Don't need either of those. Don't really need this cape. Don't need this pendant. Don't really need this scarf either. There we go. We got a good chunk of change now. So I am gonna pick up that katana because katanas are awesome. Spoiler alert: I am a massive nerd for Japanese culture, so I'm a huge fan of katanas. I'm gonna grab the. Do we need the war fatigues? I think I'd rather have a little more defense. Although this is just too good to pass up. We're gonna pick up the war fatigues. And I'm gonna throw that on real quick. So we get a nice boost to our defense and our attack as well. 52. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Hardly any speed loss on that at all. And it's got a nice, decent range to it, and it swings in an arc. I'm fine with that. Now we can go back to zombie killing. Everyone's favorite pastime, I think. That being said, we're going to get back into the zombie killing in the next episode, but I can show you guys the teleporter room, and we can jump right back to the one that we were just at, which is convenient. There is a lot more of these to see than just these two. I think there's about 7 or 8 of them altogether once you reveal the whole map. This just lets you get from point to point in the castle much quicker. So, that being said, we are going to progress through to the rest of the castle next time. So until that time, thank you all very much for watching so far. I really do appreciate it. We're going to continue in the next episode. So until that time, thank you all very much. This has been Seraphin. Stay classy, internets.